Take a moment and just imagine for a second an EV that buyers are absolutely stealing. Abundantly in stock, and besides the price, get this, it holds up like an absolute champ in one of the most crucially important crash tests that are conducted by the IIHS. I am not a huge fan of the futuristic look that manufacturers are taking, especially my favorite brand, BMW. However, I can tell you that the one that I like the most of all the EVs is the Ioniq 5, and I'm so pleased that buyers can have this thing for dirt cheap if they follow the tips I'm gonna lay out in this video. I know what you're wondering. How are buyers stealing the Ioniq 5? You can begin to relax because I'll explain everything. At the moment, there are about 9,000 Ioniq 5s at dealerships across the US, and here's why that's important. Competitors like the EV6, Nissan Ariya, and Volkswagen ID4 only have between 3,000 and 4,000 units each, so your chances of scoring the best deal are actually right here. Of the available 9,000 Ioniq 5s, I know you may be curious which one to get. Here's the deal. Inventory is available on all trim levels. Specifically, Hyundai has more than 3,000 limiteds, 800 SCs, but the most that they have are about 5,000 or so are on the SEL, both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. If you don't need a lot of the luxury equipment, the SEL may be the easy way to score a hot deal because of how available it is. If I were to pick one out of the available 5,000 listed on cargurus.com, my choice would be an SEL all-wheel drive priced out at around $53,095. This is typical, but don't expect any fancy features from it like leather, sunroof, or ventilated seats. The dealer's cost on the Ioniq 5 is heavily tied to their performance for the month. So while I can't give you a rock-solid invoice price on the Ioniq 5, I can tell you that if a dealer is getting quote-unquote aggressive on the Ioniq, he's probably discounting it about $2,000 in addition to any rebate or tax credit that they're relaying to you. My personal recommendation is to shoot for about $1,000 off the price before rebates. Make them stand out versus all the other Hyundai dealers. If everyone is offering the car at MSRP, one will want to discount it to stand out. Trust me. Hyundai is making some big moves by moving production of the Ioniq 5 to the United States. Why'd they do this? So that they could qualify the Ioniq 5 for the $7,500 tax credit for those who want to purchase it. Previously, only lease customers could qualify for the $7,500. At the moment, though, Hyundai is offering 0% financing up to 60 months or a crazy $7,500 rebate to make up for the fact that they haven't qualified for the tax credit for those looking to purchase. The rebate is coming from Hyundai directly. However, soon, the rebate is going to be the actual tax credit, and we'll end up seeing a promotional APR being combined with a nice tax credit too. First responders, members of the military, and recent college grads, make sure you tell your salesperson that you would qualify for a rebate around $500 because that actually makes about a $15 a month difference on a lease payment, believe it or not. And speaking of leasing it at 39 months is definitely the way to go, and here's why. Hyundai charges different interest rates or money factors in lease jargon depending on how many months you're leasing. At 24 months is 5.86% or 0.00244 money factor. At 36, it's 0.00179 money factor. And at 39 months, it's 0.00141 money factor. Basically, that means it's about a 3.38% APR. If you're wondering where I'm pulling all this information that I use for this and other negotiation guide videos, my cheat sheet is in the description below, and it's freaking cheap. Like really, really cheap. Check it out. The sweet spot is at 39 months. The residual at 39 months is 55%, and assuming you were able to get $1,000 off the MSRP, assuming you paid your inception fees due at start, and assuming you looked at your screen, found the like and subscribe buttons, and absolutely attacked them both one after another, we'd be talking about $431 a month, and that's not including your state sales tax. Total interest paid over the 3 years, a rent charge, is about $3,920, which is absolutely copacetic. Copacetic, an adjective meaning very good, excellent, completely satisfactory. Absolutely copacetic. Run that crash test footage. This is by far one of the ugliest types of crashes. This is called the small overlap test conducted by the IIHS, and I absolutely love that a small car like this was awarded a good rating by the IIHS, as well as a top safety pick plus for 2024, and that's kind of a big deal. That could be the reason why Geico absolutely hooked it up, quoted me $1,449 on a 12-month policy, and actually dipped into the 1,300s if I elected to pay the policy off in one shot at the time of signing. The reason why this quote is impressive is because the MSRP is so damn high and EVs are so insanely expensive to insure. That's legit the only reason why I'm impressed by an insurance quote on a small car like this for less than $1,500. What I was not impressed by was a Consumer Reports rating of 67 out of 100 for the Ioniq 5 and a 33 out of 100 for predicted reliability. The sister vehicle, the EV6, was given a 77, and they're legit cut from the same cloth. So I guess I'm just curious how these two vehicles are so different when they're being made by pretty much the same people. I guess it's a good thing that the warranty is as follows. You get 5 years and 60,000 miles bumper to bumper, 10 years, 100,000 miles for the drivetrain, 5 years and unlimited miles roadside assistance, and even 3 years of maintenance. Does the rating actually matter? Kinda, because you don't really want to be spending too much time at the dealership, even if the issue is covered under warranty. However, are you going to be spending tons of money on repair costs? Probably not, and probably not for a little while. It takes about 7.5 hours to fully charge the Ioniq 5 long range if you're using the 240 volt home charger, but if you're using one of those 440 volt fast chargers like you see in those parking lots or whatever, it'll take you like 15 minutes to get from 10 to 80%. And when you're at 100% charged, it should get you about 267 miles. However, realistically, anytime they give battery mile ranges, I typically only hear 66% of the figure in my brain. For example, if you tell me 300 miles on one charge, my brain actually heard 200 miles. And I wish when they quoted these mile ranges, they use real world scenarios for the typical driver. Use my cheat sheet, which you can access by clicking here or the link in the description below. It's cheap. Trust me, you gotta get it. If you found this information useful, please consider subscribing. We're legit almost at 100,000 subscribers, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.